video is brought to you by CIC. I am Liz Chandler, and I'm going to teach you a short Pilates session with a few yoga stretches thrown in the mix. It is important with all exercise program that you consult with your doctor if you have any pre-existing conditions that could be aggravated by exercise. Also, if you feel any pain or discomfort at any point during the session, please stop what you are doing. Okay, so let's get started. So what I'd like you to do to start with is just close your eyes. And I want you to send your attention to your feet. And I just want you to notice where you're standing your feet today. Do you have more weight in your right or your left? Or do you feel more weight in the balls of the feet or the heels? And what I'd like you to do is start to equalize that pressure in your feet, to try to feel them even between your right and left foot, to feel the weight even between the balls and the heels of the feet. Just lift all 10 toes off the floor for a moment, and then lower your toes back down, trying to keep that pressure nice and even. And now energize down through the feet, and I want you to feel your spine lengthening upwards. And then just slowly open your eyes. Now we're going to just check one other point. So what I would like you to do is just check that your pelvis isn't swayed forward towards your toes. So just bring those hips back over your ankles. And if you imagine you have a light right in the center of your pelvis, that light is beaming straight down over your ankles. And now imagine you have a light in the center of your chest, and you want that light aligned with your pelvis so that your chest isn't sticking forward or indeed swaying back. So we want that to be nice and aligned. And then imagine there's a light in the center of your skull. And again, that light in the center of your skull is lined up with the other ones. So you've got that nice alignment. And then just feel energy coming out through the crown of your head and that light beaming through the center. Now just turn your head over your right shoulder and see if you can relax your shoulders. Just notice how that's feeling. And then bring your head back to the center and turn your head over your left shoulder. And just noting how that's feeling at the moment. And then bring yourself back into the center. Now roll your shoulders forward. And then start to circle those shoulders back and around. And then just let them drop. And now go into a knee bend. And as you bend your knees, see if you can keep those 3 points nice and aligned. So we have those 3 lines aligned as we bend our knees. And then straighten the legs. So as you bend your knees, try not to roll your ankles in. Try to keep the weight even in your feet. And then straighten the legs. And again, as you bend the knees, try not to let the body move forward, but indeed keep that alignment right over the ankles. And just one more time. And then straightening the legs. And now roll the shoulders again. So let's breathe in as we lift the shoulders high, and breathe out as you circle them down. So again, breathe in to lift, and then exhale, release them down. Now place your hands on your shoulders, let your elbows touch in the center, breathe in deeply as you lift, and exhale to release down. And once more, breathe in to lift, and exhale to release down. Now open your arms and spread your fingers. Let your fingertips point backwards, and then just reach your arms back and just lift your chest and your heart center slightly. Feel your inner thighs contract to help support you here, and breathe deeply into your chest wall. And now look forward again and bring your arms down. And then bring your arms in front of you, but I want you to really reach them forward, but don't lean forward. Just reach the arms as far forward as you can. And then bring the arms up and turn your palms out, and now reach your arms back and behind you. And just do that again. So overreach the arms, breathe in as they lift, and then open the arms backwards behind you, really circling them around. And now let's take the right ear over the shoulder and let your head be really heavy. And now tip your shoulder line over and just keep drawing up through the abdominal, so you're feeling lots of length there. And now see if you can go a little bit further and let your head be really heavy and really relax this right shoulder. Now breathe in as you reach your left arm high, and then just reach it over towards that right diagonal. And then we're going to bring the arm up and the arm down slowly, and then bring the side of your neck and your head up last. And now take the left ear over the shoulder and just draw your chin in slightly as well. And then from here, tip over from the shoulder area. And then still lifting up through the center. See if you can go a tiny bit further. If it's irritating the back at all, don't. And then take that arm straight up. Now really pull the arm up as you push down into that right foot, and then take the arm to that high diagonal on the left. Now really release the shoulder, breathe deeply and really expand the ribs on that right side. And now bring the arm up, and then slowly take the arm down, and then bring the side of your neck and your head back up again. Now I'd like you to take your left arm and place it behind the head. And take your right hand and place it on top of the elbow and give it a little push down. So I'm just going to turn around so you see what that looks like from behind. Okay, and now from the side, usually what happens is the head gets pushed forward from the arm. So I want you to really draw your chin in and try not to let your chest arch. Really feel the ribs soften down into your body. Okay, so again, we're still trying to align those three lights. Now from here, if you can, if you manage, this may be enough of a stretch already, but if you want a deeper stretch, you side bend slightly to the right. Now don't go really deep into your side bend, think more of lengthening up, and now really try to pull that whole side upwards as you inhale. And then from here we're going to unfold the arms, and we're going to try to bring the palms together. And now breathe in and try to reach your left fingertips past your right, and then bring it up to standing and release the arms down. And now take your right hand up and reach it down your back and place your left hand on the right elbow and then reach it down a little bit further by pushing it. So again, that's what it looks like from behind. And we're going to bring the head back into the form. We're going to soften the ribs in. We're going to keep the center lifted. And then we're going to go over to the left. And again, you're trying not to collapse into the spine. You're keeping that lift, and we're breathing in long and deep into that right side of the body. And now unfold the arms slowly, and then try to breathe in and reach your right fingertips past your left, and then bring yourself upright and release the arms back down. And then just give the shoulders another roll. Big, slow roll, and release. Now just turn your head over the right shoulder again. See if you can relax the shoulders even further. Bring your head back into the center. Turn your head over your left shoulder. Feel those shoulders melting. And bring it back into the center. So now we're going to do a little roll down, going down to the ground. And when you're rolling down, a lot of times when people nod their head and roll down, they let their hips sway back. Okay, and then you're not really stretching the spine when you do that. So what I want you to do is keep an eye on your thighs as you roll down and make sure they're not pushing back and behind you. So we're going to roll down nice and slowly with a few breaths. So what I want you to do first is draw your chin in, nod your head and just look at your chest. And just hold that for a moment, just stretching the neck muscles. And now I want you to roll down to the bottom of your neck, okay, and really feel your chest pull into you. Now check out your thighs, make sure they're not swaying back, they're still over your ankles. Now breathe in here, and as you breathe out, give me a little sigh. Go, feel those shoulders go heavier. Now roll down to right between the shoulder blades. Not quite far as the base of the shoulder blades, just between the neck and the shoulders. And again, those thighs are over the ankles. And now give me another sigh. Now from here, what I'd like you to do is just bend your knees softly, just a small bend, and pull back into your abdominals. And then I want you to roll down again further to where your fingertips are over your knees. Now if your back is sore, and this is hurting your back, then why don't you go ahead down onto your hands and knees and wait for me there. Now I want you to breathe in here again, and as you exhale, give me another sigh, and see if you can let the arms go even heavier. Let your head go heavier. And feel your weight nice and even in the feet still. Keep breathing. And now on your next exhale, we're going to continue to roll all the way down, keeping the knees slightly bent and the head really relaxed. Now go down and with your knees bent, place either your fingertips on the floor or the flat of the palms, but make sure something is touching the floor with your hands. Now leave your fingertips in contact with the floor and try to stretch your legs. And when you do, feel your weight go into the toes a bit. And again, let your knees bend.
So when you go to stretch, only stretch your legs as far as you can keep your fingertips in contact with the floor. Don't let your hands leave the floor. And again, bend your knees. And just one more. Exhale, let your head go heavy. Go into as far of a stretch as you can manage with your hands on the floor. Don't worry if you can't straighten your legs all the way. And now lower yourself down onto your hands and your knees. Okay. Now once you're on your hands and the knees, I want you to really spread out through your fingertips, and I want you to try to press your shins down onto the floor and have your hands right underneath the shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. And we're going to just start with the cat. So what I'd like you to do is just tuck your tailbone under slowly, just rounding the lower back first. Keep pressing the shins down, then round your middle back, and then let your neck and your head round. Now look at your pelvis. And take a long, deep breath in here. Try to widen your shoulder blades. And then as you exhale, start to stick your bottom out, straightening the lower back first, but pull your belly in as you straighten your spine, and then lift up through the back of the neck. So you're looking down at that line between the heels of your hands, but you're not letting your head just drop below your spine. Really lift. And just do that once more. So we're going to tuck the tail under. As you breathe that long breath out, looking down between your legs, take a deep breath and really push the floor away. And then exhale as you straighten the spine, the stomach pulls in, and lengthen your spine all the way out. Now we're going to go into a little bit of a deeper stretch. So what I want you to do is bring your right hand slightly towards you. Take your left palm right in front of the right hand, so the heels of the hands are touching the fingers. Now you're going to start to bring your hips backwards, and as you do, bend your right elbow and place the forearm on the ground, and then just look down at your knees. Now keep your left hand anchored, and then really let yourself collapse down into kind of like a child's pose, so your head drops. Now you should be feeling a great stretch through the left side of the body and underneath the armpit and maybe through the arm line. Just breathe deeply. And then bring yourself back forward again. And now move your left hand to the left. Place your right hand right in front of the fingertips of the left hand. And then start to go backwards. And as you do, bend your left elbow so the forearm hits the floor. Keep the right elbow super straight. And now square your chest to the mat as well. Now breathe in. Keep that right hand anchored, the right elbow straight, feeling a nice big stretch through that side body. And then bring yourself back forward again. And then bring that hand back and across. So one more cat. We're going to round our back again. We're going to breathe in. Now this time, I want you to keep the shape of the spine, but move it backwards. Move it towards your heels. Now pause when you're hovering off your heels and press the palms down strongly, and then bring yourself back forward again, and then slowly lengthen the spine out again with the center in. Now I'd like you to slide your left foot back just to where it points and touches the floor. And then I want you to try to lift it, but without the pelvis moving. So you're really going to try to keep the pelvis still. The leg lifts into the air. Now just glance down at your right leg and notice if it's still perpendicular. You want to make sure it's not swaying out to the side. So try to get it nice and perpendicular. Now see if you can see your left leg. And notice if it's out to the side. You want it right in line with your hip joint. Now bring the back of your neck back up in line with the spine and uncurl your head. Now if you have the balance and the strength, I want you to reach your right arm backwards by your hip. Now stay here, and I want you to think about those 3 lights that we talked about when we were standing. And I want you to feel they're really aligned. So just see if you can pick up the bottom of the front of your ribs and pull them in slightly. Pull your center in and feel the light beaming out from the crown of the head. And widen your collarbones and push the floor away. Now bend your right elbow, and I want you to reach the right arm forward, trying to keep the right shoulder down. And breathe. And now as you exhale, turn and look over your left shoulder. See if you can hold that balance. And then bring your head back into the center. Lower the foot down and lower the hand down and bring it in. Okay, how'd that go? Hopefully well. On to the other side now. So on the other side, we're going to slide the right foot back. The center is in. Now try not to let the lower back arch. We're going to bring that leg up and feel it right in line with the hip joint. Now glance down at the left leg. Make sure it's perpendicular, then roll back up through the head. And now focus on the bottom of your rib cage and just feel them slightly lifting up and in. And then take your left arm and reach it back down by your hip. And just hold that. Feel the light beaming out from the crown of the head, out from the bottom of the pelvis. Keep that leg lifted and keep breathing. Now push the ground away more. Bend the elbow on the left and reach it forward. Keep lifting your abdominals up towards your spine. Breathe in here. And then as you exhale, turn and look to the right. Hold that. And then bring your head back down. And then lower your hand down and lower your leg down. And then just sink back towards your heels. And let your hands reach forward. Let your head drop. Now take a really long and deep breath into the lower back. So I want you to breathe in really deep for as long and as deep as you can. And then slowly breathe all the air out. Now bring your hands down by your feet. And again, I want you to breathe in for as long and as deep as you can. And then breathing out. Now from here, we're going to roll up through the spine and we're going to let the head be the absolutely last thing that uncurls through the spine. The shoulders are going to relax and coming up to sitting tall. Now bring your legs around to the front of your mat. And then just sitting on your bottom in the center and place your hands behind your thighs. Now, if your back is a bit sore today or you have quite a weak core and you know that about yourself, then I would recommend that you actually just lower yourself down through your arms and lay yourself on your back and just wait there for us. So otherwise, you're going to bring your legs together. We're going to sit up nice and tall. You're going to widen the shoulder blades. And now you're going to try to tuck the tailbone under. So the pelvis is going to round. So we're scooping back. We're pulling the stomach in deep. And we're just going down to where the tailbone is tucked under. Now hold here. And on your next exhale, pull the stomach in deeper and squeeze your inner thighs more. And then bring yourself back forward again. And then when you arrive on your sitting bones, lengthen the spine all the way up and really relax the shoulders. And again, going down, pull the center in. We're going to see if we can go a little bit further. If you can't, don't worry about it. Just stay at that height. See if you can scoop, pull your center and see if you can let your lower back touch the floor. And now, if you feel strong enough, you could let go of your arms. Keep breathing. Keep the shoulders relaxing. Try not to let the head strain forward. Keep those ears back over the shoulders. And then bring yourself back forward. And then bring yourself nice and lengthening tall. So now we're going to go all the way down to the floor. And if you feel that your core can't control it and that your feet might flip up, then put your hands on the floor, please, and just allow yourself to roll down. Otherwise, we're going down, we're tucking the tail under, we're pulling the stomach in deeper, we're really scooping under, getting the lower back on the floor. You're going to let go of those arms, and then really controlling this last bit as you continue with your roll down. And then lowering your head down. Now, once your head is down, bend your knees and have your ankles just underneath the knees, or the back of the heels underneath the knees. And you want the feet just hips width for now. Okay, knees pointing up, arms and shoulders relaxed. Now what I'd like you to do first is just going to take a moment to release and relax here. So I want you to imagine that you have a pencil on your nose and you're going to draw a tiny, tiny little circle. So you're going to relax your jaw and face and just let your nose draw a little circle above you, keeping the shoulders really relaxed. And then go the other way. So start to circle the nose in the other direction. So it's nice and small, this circle. And bring it back into the center. Now take a long and deep breath in. Breathe in nice and gently. And then when you breathe out, just allow the whole body to melt, the whole body to relax into your mat. And then we're going to let the lower back now touch the floor. So we're going to tuck the tail under so the lower back is pushed into your mat. Now stand firmly in the four corners of your feet. So don't roll in, don't roll out, and don't let your toes lift. Now lift your hips up off of the ground. But we're trying to leave the rib cage on the ground. Now focus on your thigh bones and just let the thigh bones move 1 inch inwards so that you feel some inner thigh work. So they're not touching, they're just hugging the center line. Now continue to roll up, keeping your rib cage heavy, and your knees are reaching forward, and your shoulders, they're just rolling backwards. They're melting into the floor. Now once you get up here, if you feel that your lower back is starting to hurt, see if you can let your rib cage go heavier and tuck your tail under. If that still doesn't help, then just don't come up as high. Just keep it nice and low. Now take the arms overhead, reach them far and back and behind you. Stand firmly down into the 4 corners of each foot. And then as you exhale, sink your chest and your heart and the back of the ribs. Keep your tail tucked under. You don't want your pelvis to hit the floor before your lower back. We're going to get the lower back on the ground first, then the pelvis goes down, and now slowly relax your bottom, but keep your belly in as you return back to neutral, and bring the arms up. So neutral is just when the pubic bone and hip bones are level. Now bring the arms down by the side. Let's go again. So we're going to tuck the tail under. We're going to let the shoulders melt back. We're going to lift the pelvis up. Once the pelvis is up, stop. Hug your thighs in 1 inch. Feel the weight even through the feet. Now continue rolling up, keeping your chest nice and heavy, really reaching those knees forward. Now once you're up there, take a long and deep breath in. Really push up from the creases of where the hamstring meets the gluteals. And now take your arms up and over your head. Stretch them far back and behind you. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, sink your chest, your back of your ribs, keep hugging your thighs in, then your lower back, and then your pelvis coming all the way down. Now pull your stomach in as you release into neutral and let your bottom relax. Now bring your arms up and down by your sides. Now bring your feet and knees together. And what I'd like you to do is just turn your palms up and just open your arms to a low diagonal. So as you exhale, we're going to keep the feet and knees together. We're going to let the knees go over to the right, but only about halfway to the floor. At that point, look over your left shoulder, pause here. Now breathe in, and as you exhale, think of sinking the left side of your chest first, then the ribs, and pull your abdominals in as you bring the knees back to the center. So we're going to do the other side now. So as you exhale, the feet right on top of each other, the knees stay glued together. They go halfway to the floor on the left as you turn your head to the right. Now breathe in nice and deep here. And as you exhale, really feel the right side of your chest and ribs sink first, pulling the abdominals in, and then pull everything back into the center. Again, inhale, knees going right, head going left. Really relax your neck and shoulders. And as you exhale, pull back from the rib cage, drawing it back and through. And you should be feeling your obliques, your waistline abdominal muscles. So again, going to the left, the knees stay glued together, the head rotates to the right. You take a nice deep breath in here. And as we exhale, we sink the chest, then the rib cage, and bring it all back into the center. Now this next little exercise we're going to do is a stretch for your glutes. I want you to take your left leg straight up. First flex the foot to release the back of the hamstring. Now bend the leg completely over the right leg. So more kind of, not a figure 4 like that with the knee out, but completely crossed. Now take your time, go really slow. And again, if you're worried about your back, maybe don't go so far. If you can, you're going to let your knees go over, but really try not to arch your back. Keep your ribs dropped. Now you should be getting a stretch right now through that left hip. And what I want you to do is slightly tuck your tail under. So pull the center in, tuck your tail under, and feel that left hip reaching away. And just take another breath here. And as you're breathing, really relax the neck and relax the shoulders, and feel your arms are super heavy. Now breathe in deep, and on your next exhale, just come back 1 inch or 2. Now lift your left foot up first, and then bring that left leg back, and then the right leg. And that just makes it not so much of a load on our lower back. So now place the left foot down, put the right leg directly over the top, Relax your shoulders, and now let your hips go over to the left. And let your feet go down to the floor. So be really careful about overarching the back like this and letting your chest lift. We keep the chest drop, the ribs drop, the stomach in. That top hip is reaching away from us, the right hip, and slightly tuck your tail under. So you're relaxing the shoulders and the arms here and breathing. And then as you exhale, we're going to sink down through the rib cage, the center, and we're going to pull it all back into the center. Great. Now release the legs. And we're going to try to rock up. Now, if you're worried about rocking up due to your back or you just find that uncomfortable, then roll over onto your side and push yourself up. Otherwise, bring your knees into your chest, give them a really big hug, and now push your knees forward till your arms straighten. Nod your head and keep pushing your knees forward. Now let your elbows bend slightly and then just get a little rock going here. When you rock, try not to let your knees pull towards you, but you're pushing your knees away from you to get the rock going. We're pulling the center in and then coming all the way up. Okay, so now we're going to do some extension work. So first we're going to lie on our front. And we're going to do something called a dart. So if you have a cushion, you can place it underneath your forehead. Or if your lower back bothers you, you could put a larger cushion between the rib cage and the pubic bone, and that will help your back feel some more supported during this exercise. So you're going to lie on your front, and you're going to rest your forehead on the floor, and you're going to really relax the shoulders. Now let your heels roll outwards, and your toes point in. Now breathe in really deep, so try to breathe in for a long time, say 6 counts. And as you breathe out, pull your stomach in. Now squeeze your legs together and squeeze your heel bones together and straighten your knees. Now let your head just float up off the floor. So we're not lifting the chest, just the head. Now roll your shoulders so that your collarbones widen, and then reach your hands for your ankles. Really reach, okay? So it's like you're trying to touch them. Now think about the very tippy top of the backs of the shoulders and see if you can pull them up towards the ceiling a little bit more. Keep really squeezing those heels together, squeezing the top of the inner thighs, still breathing. Take another breath in here. And now as you exhale, relax the legs, let the heels roll outwards, and really relax yourself down. You can turn your head to one side here. So again, take a long and deep breath into the lower back. As you breathe out, we're going to squeeze the legs together. We're going to turn the palms. We're going to lift our head looking straight at the floor, focusing on the tops of the shoulders. Let them roll backwards slightly and really reach your hands towards your feet. Really work through the glutes. Breathe in deep. And then as you exhale, try turning your head to the other side, letting your heels roll outwards. So again, long, deep breath in. As you exhale, we're going to squeeze the legs together. We're going to lift the head. We're going to look straight down and really reach your hands towards your feet. Now, we're going to try to either just hold this position, or you could relax again and then do it again, or we're going to go into something a bit stronger. So I want you to keep your right leg really working strong, and we're going to float the left leg up. Now make sure your right buttock hasn't relaxed. Widen the shoulders, long neck. And now lower that foot down, reconnect the heels. Now keep the left leg working strong, but lift the right leg up. Keep breathing, keep the length through the spine, and then lower it down. And again, if this is irritating your back, then just relax and go into the normal dart. So again, exhale, pull the center and right leg working, lift the left leg up. So you're trying to keep your pelvis really square. You're reaching through that left leg, you're still working the right leg, and then lower that down. Squeeze your heels again. Again, lift that right leg up, reach it away from you. Keep working the left leg, and now lower that down, and then let the heels roll out and relax back down to the ground. Whew. Take a nice long deep breath into the small of the back, and now breathing out. Bring your hands next to your chest, roll your shoulders back, engage your abdominals, and push yourself up. Just bring yourself up onto your hands and knees again, and we're going to round back into another cat. So we're going to tuck the tail under, rounding our back, letting our head drop. Take a deep breath in, And then as you breathe out, slowly lengthen that spine back out again and lift through the back of your neck. So come up into a high kneeling position. Now, if you have issues with your knees, feel free to put like a towel or a cushion underneath your knees to make them more comfortable. Also, if you have any balance issues, you could do this exercise on both knees. We're going to be doing a little bit of rotating. You could do the rotation on both knees. But otherwise, if you're comfortable with it, we're going to bring our right leg forward. And if you need help with your balance, place your left hand down and then bring your right foot forward and then bring yourself back up again. So we want a right angle. We want the ankle under the knee, and that right hip really dropped. So make sure it's not lifted, but it's dropped down. Now from here, we're going to place the right hand on our chest, and we're just going to rotate to the right. Now take your left hand and place it to the outside of the knee. Now I want you to push the knee in, but the knee pushes out. So there's no movement, but there's a lot of pressure. Now relax your shoulders and lengthen your spine. And now breathe in and try to rotate a little bit further. And then if you're comfortable with it, if your shoulders are right, reach your right arm backwards. Now really stand down, push down into your right heel pad. Think of where the heel pad is and push right down into it. Spread out through your toes. Keep breathing. Now see if you can turn your head to look at your hand. Keep pressing into the knee pressing into the hand, and then bring yourself back and around. Now, if you can, straighten your front leg and bring your hands to your foot. Then from here, we're going to breathe in, and on the exhale, we're going to push our hips backwards and nod our head as we look down. And then come back forward again. This time, as we go backwards, try flexing your front foot. So really reach up through those toes and then bring yourself back forward. Now from here, tuck your toes under of the left foot and lift the knee off the floor. Push your left heel backwards. Now as your left heel is pushing backwards, leave it glued there and pull your right knee slightly forward. Lift your abdominals. Now either hold this stretch, or if you want to go into something deeper, we're going to lower the knee. I want you to push down into the right heel and then bring your arms up. And now lift the shoulders. Let the shoulders relax, and then just lift your focus and look between your hands. Breathe deeply and then lower your hands back down again. Now either tuck the toes under and just slide this leg straight back to plank, or you can lower the knee, place the right hand on the inside of the right leg, bring it onto the hands and the knees, move the hand back, and going into your plank. Now hold your plank. Think of all three lights being aligned through the skull, through the chest, through the pelvis, stomach pulling in, spreading out through the fingers. Get weight in your fingers as well as the heel of the hand. Keep your abdominals lifting, and now lower your knees. Send your hips back and roll up through the spine. Head coming up last. Now again, you can place your right hand down if you need some help with your balance to bring that left foot through. Bring yourself up and make sure the ankle's right underneath the knee. And really feel the pelvis square. Left hand on your chest. Start to rotate to the left and place your right hand now on the outside of that left knee. Really push the knee out as the hand pushes in, and see if you can rotate that little bit further. Now see if you can lengthen your spine more. Relax your shoulders down. And now reach that left arm out to the side, really reaching it back and behind you. Take a long and deep breath in as you stretch. Keep pushing the knee into the hand and the hand into the knee. Breathe in, and then bring yourself back and to the front. And then from here, straighten that left leg and bring your hands to your foot. Now push your hips backwards and let your head drop down. Try to leave your left foot flat to the floor if you can. And then bring your hips forward. Now this time as you go backwards, let your shoulders widen and flex your foot. Let your head really drop. And then bring yourself back forward again, using the right glute. Now tuck your toes under and straighten the back leg. Now push that right heel backwards as you pull the left knee forward. Lift your center. Now you can stay here or go a bit deeper by dropping the knee again, flattening the foot, and then bringing the arms up. So breathe in as we reach up the shoulders
Exhale, relax the shoulders. Now let your pelvis lift slightly as well. Stand down into that left heel and then look up between your hands. And then bring your hands back down again. Now either you can go from a lunge into plank, or you can place your left hand on the inside of your left leg and bring it back onto your hands and knees. You can either do a cat here, or you can go into your plank, really working the inner thighs, using your glutes, lifting the abdominals. Feel the length through the crown of the head. And now either go into hands and knees again, or you can push yourself up into down dog, what's called in yoga, and in Pilates we call it up stretch. So you can widen your shoulder blades and now really lift your tail feathers with those heels pressing down. Take a long and deep breath in here. Press through the whole of the fingers. So feel your fingers weighted as well as the heels of the hands. The palms are really open. You're still breathing. We're still reaching the tail high. We're still pushing the heels down. And now lower yourself back down onto your knees. And then bring your hips back and bring your hands down by your feet and just let your head drop. Now let your shoulders go super heavy. And now take a long and slow deep breath in through your nose and let the whole of the back of the ribs open. And then slowly breathing out. Now if you're finding child's pose uncomfortable, go onto your hands and knees and do cat. Otherwise, just do another breath in child's pose. Wherever you're at, slowly tuck your toes under, rock yourself back onto the balls of your feet. Let your chest come close to your thighs and let your head drop. And just really release into gravity. And now reconnect with the four corners of your feet. Let your stomach pull in, and with your knees bent, slowly roll up. Now as you're rolling up, really let your arms be heavy. Let them dangle right underneath the shoulders. Tuck your tail under, and slowly as you roll up, you're going to bring the chin in, and you're going to bring your head up last, and your shoulders are really melting down by your sides. Fantastic. And then just standing here for a moment, feeling that reconnection, thinking about the pelvis being back over the ankles, those three lights being aligned, that length through your neck. And then just floating the arms up. Take a nice long deep breath in, and then exhale, opening the arms to bring them all the way back down again. Just rotating your head over your right shoulder, back to center, and over your left. And back to center. Thanks so much, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the session.